Hey guys, this is Jenny. I am a self-taught artist and I am going to show you my sketchbook. This is the first one that I ever completed. I started it on the last week of July this year and finished it November 24th. That's the first page. I actually wrote the date here, July 28th, 2025 to November 24th. So let's get started. The very first one is a portrait, just a warning. Well, it's not really a warning unless you consider it a bad thing, but this is chock full of portraits. I filled this sketchbook with a huge help to the 100 Heads Challenge and also the Inktober prompts for this year. So yeah, a huge chunk of the entire sketchbook is just filled with those prompts. So yeah, this is the first portrait. Another portrait. Well, technically, this is actually the first one that I made in this sketchbook, but I didn't do it in the first page because of, the first page jitters. This is another one done with markers and colored pencils. Same markers and colored pencils. I actually started this sketchbook using mostly markers because I haven't tried markers before and wanted to really give it a try, and it was fun. I really had fun using them. All right. These are two portraits where I tested the colored pencils. They're colored pencils that you can erase, as the name suggests. My little pig phone holder. More portraits here in ink. So I tested sketching directly in ink, which I was very not comfortable doing when I was still starting this sketchbook. I'm most comfortable doing sketches in pencils first because I could erase, but I wanted to challenge myself and just be more loose, and not be too precious with sketches. I apply the same mindset here. These are done with brown fountain pen and ink as well. These are markers and colored pencils. More markers and colored pencils. I actually filmed the process for this one, I think. This is just solely markers and no under sketches as well. I wanted to just practice sketching directly with markers with a goal of saving time, but I'm not sure if I actually achieved that because I was more hesitant and careful in applying marks, because I can't erase it after. These are color erase pencil portrait, more markers and colored pencils here. These are made with a brown fountain pen, but I was testing acrylic markers on the backgrounds of the page and I really hated it because it's just so bright and the colors are not harmonious and I can't look at it, so I covered it with a dark blue gouache paint and just painted daisies on top of it. This is a bleed through of the marker, so don't look at that yet. This is the colored pencils, green color erase colored pencils, I think. And these are markers. This is gouache. Yeah, these were fun to draw because I was trying to use unconventional colors for the skin tones, right? Because mainly I wanted to use the the markers that I haven't been using. Because I was trying to use the flesh tones more because of portraits, right? And I wanted to give the other colors some love. So yeah, this is my first attempt at gouache again after many years. And I remember this one being so difficult. Like I wanted to give up during the middle so many times during the ugly phase because I was just trying to make gouache work, and it was It was challenging, but I like the end result. This is more markers and colored pencils. I really like this one. I had a good reference photo, but I just like how the colors go so well together. The blues here and then the warm colors here. I love it. And I wanted to take a break from portraits here, so I wanted to do landscapes with markers. Yeah, just wanted to play with markers here. I really like it. I should do this more. All right, back to portraits. These are both markers and colored pencils again. I really love this one. So, the model, the reference photo is so good. I like the whole like styling, the pose. I love it. And I wanted to do some landscapes and food, I guess. This was just a fun sketch. I think this is watercolor and colored pencils, and these are markers and colored pencils. But I think these are watercolors too. I'm not sure. They're very similar though, alcohol markers and watercolors, in the sense that they're both transparent mediums and have a lot of similarities. This is a practice in gouache. All of these are in gouache. I really love how this octopus turned out. So yummy. An octopus on a stick. More portraits. I think alcohol markers and colored pencils again. Same here. I love how this one turned out. I don't use this combination often for skin, and I wanted to experiment again with using non-conventional skin tones here. Oh, this is the first one I ever tried with acrylic markers. I haven't used acrylic markers before, so it was just, you know, swatching and experimenting, but in a fun way. So, yep. Just some testing inks, some random squiggles here. And back to portraits. These are alcohol markers and colored pencils again. Now just this one, I think I got like new alcohol markers here. This is one set and this is another. No, these are actually watercolor markers that I bought so many years ago. I just found it somewhere in the house and wanted to swatch it. But yeah, just wanted to make some marks, but I don't really want to draw anything and just want to turn off my mind, you know, and just go to my sketchbook and play. Another portrait in markers and alcohol markers and colored pencils. When I say markers, by the way, for this whole tour, I mostly mean alcohol markers. Yeah, I really love the lighting on this shirt. I think I did a good job here. Yay! More portraits. Another portrait. More portraits. All these three are alcohol markers and colored pencils. And a sketch in fountain pen, brown fountain pen, and more alcohol markers and colored pencils here. I think this one is a watercolor. I wanted to test a dry brush technique here, and I love the texture. This is a portrait in gouache. It's so streaky and it didn't turn out how I wanted it to turn out, but hey, that's why you practice. These vegetables are done with the watercolor markers that I found. The colors are so rich. I really love these. And I just covered squiggles here with acrylic markers. Just more random doodles here with colored pencils. More random doodles. And this is a painting using my Himi gouache. I actually love how this turned out. Look at all those pumpkins. Here, there's more pumpkins. This one I used This is the very first painting I did with the Shinhan gouache. That's my very first artist grade gouache, and I really love it. Like, look at the colors. They're so creamy and rich. More doodles with acrylic markers, I think. Yeah, I just wanted to use the acrylic markers. I haven't used them in a while at this point. These are just scribbly type of sketches using colored pencils. And I decided to try filling up an entire spread with a painting. I remember this being challenging because this sketchbook, this is a Royal Talens Art Creation Sketchbook, by the way. It can't handle that much water. So at first I was trying to do a wet on wet technique with gouache, and the paper just became so warpy. So I decided like to do the finishing touches, all these colors using acrylic markers instead, because I don't think the paper would have survived more water. And I think I did some colored pencils for the textures as well. This is a painting in gouache. I really love how peaceful this looks. And this is the practice. I think this was the day before Inktober started, and I wanted to try using my brush ink pens directly to do portraits instead of starting with a pencil, which I'm more comfortable doing. But I really wanted to save time and be loose with the Inktober prompts, you know? And I wanted to do most of them by drawing portraits, but I got sick of them midway, so I switched to landscapes. But yeah, let me show you. So yeah, so these are practice portraits before the official Inktober prompts. This is just a cute little sketch here. So yeah, these are the Inktober prompts. This is the start. The prompt is mustache. This is weave. This is crown. This is murky, deer. These are done mostly with just inks and a couple alcohol markers. I tried to stick to 1 to 3 colors, at least with the portraits. This is pierce and starfish. Reckless, heavy. Sweep, sting. These are shredded. This is drink and trunk. This is a sketch of a manananggal. It's a Filipino mythological creature where it's like a monster really that splits its body into halves, and the way to defeat it is to sprinkle some salt in the lower half while it goes hunting. So ragged and blunder. I really love how these two turned out. Love their expressions. And this is ornate and deal. This is Arctic, and this is Rivals. I think this is the end of my portraits, and I wanted to switch it up. This is day 20th, if I remember correctly. So at the 21st prompt, I started doing landscapes. So this is day 21st, if I remember correctly, or is this the 21st? I think this is 21st. So either way, it doesn't really matter. I'll just name the prompts. This is blast. This is button. This is rowdy. And this is firefly. I painted these with my colored inks, which is the first time I've used them again after so many years. And to be honest, I'm still not very familiar with it, so I want to do more experiments with it in the future. It is kind of similar to watercolor though, but not quite. This is Inferno. This is Puzzling. Onion. Skeletal. Lesson. Vacant. And the last one is, I think this is Award. I didn't write it. I think this is Award though. So yeah, that's the end of the Inktober prompts. Just random sketches here. We are so near the end. Like, look at that. And I think that I tried to sketch, I forgot the name of the actress. But yeah, if you recognize her, let me know in the comments below. Yeah, just random sketches here, just having fun. I think these are gouache and colored pencils. And it's either gouache or acrylic markers. I can feel the acrylic markers here though. Maybe I started with gouache and I use acrylic markers on top. Oh, this is the continuation of my 100 heads challenge. So I included the portraits from the Inktober in my 100 heads challenge count. And I just want to finish the challenge in one sketchbook. So I tried to cram so many heads in the last couple of pages. I did these sketches using Prismacolor Colorase pencils. So, yep. More portraits. I love how these kids turned out. It is wrinkly older people too. That's why I wanted to have it in one page. Very different, but all are so fun to draw. And this is the last 9. So 91 to 100, I think, in this spread. Yeah, just I think I used leftover paint here, leftover watercolor paint to just, you know, have fun and sketch trees. And these are mushrooms. I think I used acrylic markers here and ink, brown ink. Just random fun little sketches. And these are leftover, no, it's not really leftover, but my Winsor & Newton Cutman watercolor paints. I wanted to test them here. These are leftover watercolor paints. This is it started the base here with acrylic markers. They're so vibrant. That's so vibrant. And yeah, more sketches here of mushrooms and other organic stuff. So yeah, that is the last page of my sketchbook. Wow, I'm really so proud because this is the first time I have finished a sketchbook in my entire life, and it was so fun. And I already started my second sketchbook, and it's a lot bigger. It's an A4 size. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.